and there's nobody flying in and out.
All right.
And Nagasaki, I'm not sure what their status is, but I can find out tonight.
That would be good to know. I know we've. So if you can't fly in there, where will we be able to get into?
Yeah, that's a question that I don't know, because
Okay.
there's Narita, and then there's another airport that's near Osaka, and the one near Osaka may be able to take us, but those are only two international points of entry into the country. So other than some government intervention, those would be our two air spaces. And I don't know enough about ports and how they operate to really tell you the condition in Nagasaki, but I will bring this up tonight, and I will make sure that this is communicated and we get the answers as soon as possible.
So, do you have any idea how many churches in the north you're going to be able to get a hold of tonight, or you don't know yet?
Well, they've been working on it the last 2 days. I call them every 2 days, and
Okay.
tonight is our scheduled call.
Okay.
And so at that point, I will. Now, but the good news is this, is that the church in Sendai that we do have is a significant church with its own networks.
Oh, great.
So if we could get there, we know that we could distribute the materials. In fact, the pain of the people is so severe at this point that I'm sure that we will exhaust any supplies that we can send there in a good, disciplined, and well-targeted manner. And
Awesome.
so I think the wastefulness factor will be quite low.
Yeah, I can imagine that. So that's pretty much the center, isn't it, of the.
Yes. Well, and there's other locations, of course. What's very interesting is what people, when we say, oh yeah, a wave went a mile inland, we think, well, that's only a mile. But the fact of the matter is, in Japan, the coastal region is the most highly populated region in Japan. And inland, the population goes down. So it probably affected the largest amount of the population, the tsunami in particular. The earthquake is one thing that's terrible, but it's the tsunami that did the incredible damage. The nuclear reactors that are going off, that they're having difficulty with right now, who knows what that's going to turn into.
Right.
And then I don't know that you've heard this, but within the last 12 hours, they had a dormant volcano went active again in the south. And so it's like they hit the trifecta of horrible disasters, and they're adding on top of that. They're in a pretty bad place right now.
Well, it's great to be able to work with the church, and it's awesome that you've got a network of over 500 churches there throughout the south and now extending into the north. We're excited because that's what we were looking for. This is kind of the piece that was missing. We've got the product, we've got the ways to get it in there, and we're even talking to the military. So one of the avenues that is going to work now that we've got people that are on the ground waiting for it, and I know be praying for it too. So that's key.
Yeah, and they're very good people. They're very disciplined. They would be willing to do anything that needs to be done at the ports and et cetera. The other thing that I'm going to do, John, is that I'm going to talk with a friend of mine named Joe Handley, and Joe is the president. Located, his organization is actually in Torrance. It's called Asian Access, and Asian Access is like us in that they are working with churches and pastors in Japan. And so what we would be doing is working together. We both very much have the same focus, and I'll bet you that he has pastors in the north that we do not have.
Awesome.
And so it could be very cool.
Yeah, that would be great. That would be, I just know how expensive everything is in Japan and how quickly they run out of things because they don't normally keep a lot of stuff. It's just to be able to get product in there is really going to help people, because it's, you know, I mean, I just remember when I was there during Kobe time with the earthquake. I mean, it was $30 for just a can of peaches. I mean,
Oh, wow.
you couldn't buy fruit. So it's like, you know, for us to be able to bring in even food packs is going to be saving people's lives.
Oh my gosh, you're not kidding. Last night, 500,000 were on the streets, and there's 1 million right at this time that are not getting regular supplies of water.
Yeah.
So it's it's just a tremendous difficult time.
Well, Dave, I really appreciate this. This is quite one of those moments that I just kind of sit back and have to pinch myself, and
Well, I got to tell you, I'm on cloud 9, because it was just about 2 hours ago that we had a big meeting, and someone said, "Well, Dave, it's obvious you have a big heart for Japan. Why don't you see what you can put together?" And for you to call me today, I got to tell you, talk about cloud 9. I got to be on cloud 9.8. Yeah, man, it's wonderful, and to remake our acquaintance after Hurricane Katrina, I got to tell you, what a joy it is, brother.
Yeah, this is awesome. It's like it's a God thing. So we'll get working on this end with the transportation end of things, and then pulling together disaster supplies and letting people know through the internet that they can bring us product. Flashlights would be a good thing, and anything else that they can think of that, you know, there's just so many things that are just so handy at a time like this for people.
Oh, you're not kidding. The one thing that we really do need to think through is the idea of pharmaceuticals, and even the iodide capsules. The government there is very, very strict on those kinds of things, and I would hate to see that hurt our relationship with them in any way.
No, if we ship pharmaceuticals, it'll be by air, and they'll know and have a list. We don't put that in the other shipments. Okay. So the other shipments are going to have really basic disaster relief things, which you know, we're talking blankets and cots and those kinds of things. Anything that they're going to need over there for disaster.
Man, this is absolutely tremendous.
And Dave, too, keep in mind too. Keep us updated after your meeting in regard to personnel. We know a lot of specialized personnel as far as medical people and whatnot that have been contacting us and wanting to help. So keep us in mind in regard to that too.
Okay.
Yeah, we've got teams that would love to go, and I think even with some of the air shipments that we're going to send, I think we've got to send people with the cargo. So we may.
We'll send Steve Rutenbar.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? Steve right now is in Dallas, and I will get a hold of him and tell him about our conversation. And I know that he would be the most likely to be able to do the best justice oversight to that personnel that you're suggesting. So it's a good thing, you guys.
Yes. All righty.
Hey, John, let me just ask one favor.
Yes, sir.
My email address is daveh@saddleback.com.
Okay.
And if I could get an email from you, John, and from you as well, Sean, this will get everything going into the system. And if you could leave me your best contact phone number, too. I don't know if you have any stock material that you'd like to attach to it, just like introducing GOD or anything like that. But I don't really need that, but I do need your contact information, and an email would be the most helpful to me.
Yeah, I'll send that right over, Dave. And also, feel free to, if you got some urgent information after your meeting tonight, all of our phone numbers on there, John and my cell phone numbers on there.
Yeah.
So we'd like you to call us. Don't wait till tomorrow morning to get a hold of us. Feel free to call us anytime after your meeting tonight.
And that's the other reason that I was going to request your email, because I write an executive summary of the reports that I have.
Okay.
And yet I don't think any of the past summaries will be helpful for you because they're just generalized. We're in a big
Right.
kind of emails. But now, as I introduce this new conversation with what you guys are offering, I think that you need to be copied on all this stuff. And I will get you all the contact emails for these pastors as well. Let me give you one. I will send you details, but I will give you the email of Seiji and Kathy Oyama, and because they are the head of this committee of five.
Okay.
And their English is superb. Kathy is an American girl, but she's lived in Japan for over 20 years. Her Japanese and her lifestyle is absolutely flawlessly Japanese. And she's probably a genius at this kind of stuff. And so we have a very unique opportunity to do a lot of damage for the cause of good. So we're in it together, brothers.
I like that. Damage
Sounds
for
good,
the
Dave.
cause of good. That sounds good.
All right, man. Okay, well, I'll be in touch. And John, I'll look for your email, and we'll just keep moving together.
Sounds great, Dave. Appreciate it.
David, thank you so much. Good talking to you again, brother.
Blessings.
God bless.
Bye.
Bye-bye.